I was really excited to hear Professor Ellerton speak at last year's Hertzer conference about the critical thinking research project that has been developed by his academic team at the University of Queensland and which they have been actively sharing. Their Teaching for Thinking framework seeks to provide this greater precision and intentionality in the embedding of critical thinking development through inquiry. And it provides a way, I feel, for these important capabilities to be both communicated and formally assessed. And I was also extra excited that they do so by incorporating the affective domain of critical thinking, which helps to bring context, meaning and purpose to student learning, which was, really especially as this counteracts the tendency to see these skills as generic standalone capabilities, which they're not. So thanks very much to Dr. Peter Ellerton for your generous offer to speak with us about your framework today. I will hand over to you. Just before I do, I'll just let our audience know that both Denise and I will manage the chat for any questions, which we will aim to hold to the end of your presentation in about 30-35 minutes, if that sounds okay to you.
That's terrific. Thanks very much, Lucia, and thank you, Denise, as well, for the introductions to all of that. And thank you, everyone, for coming along here. Coast to coast, we are today. I'm in Brisbane, where it is sunny and gusty and gaily. And I was in Melbourne a couple of days ago, where I was in the snow, would you believe? So it's been a bit of and here I am in Western Australia. So it's great fun, and I appreciate the time. So I won't take up too much of it. It's your valuable time by telling you about my travel plans. So I am going to talk to you today about the concept of teaching for thinking, and our program has been going for a little over 10 years now. We have a series of sort of foundational workshops and day-long masterclasses, which I will, of course, successfully condense into 30 minutes for this presentation. But it's really a bit of a taste of what we do and how we do it and what it might look like for you, and maybe challenge some ideas, or at least give you some questions you might like to ask about it and maybe pique your interest. So I'm going to just begin by sharing the presentation and hope that you can see the screen properly there. Just me, okay. Our program is called Teaching for Thinking, and I guess that's a pretty obvious way of framing what we do. We try to keep it as broad as possible. And let me just take the time to go through a little bit of background and see where we go. As to myself, I was, before I became an academic philosopher, I was a high school teacher of physics and mathematics mostly for many years. And I was always keen on the project of what it meant to teach people to think well. I also taught philosophy in high schools, and I was always interested in the distinction between my students and what was the methodology that was interesting. So that was my pathway into sort of critical thinking, where I went to UQ to do my PhD, and I've been working quite a lot with jurisdictions. So I was one of 3 academics who recently rewrote the critical and creative thinking general capabilities for version 9 of the Australian curriculum, and I've done a fair bit of work with a number of organisations, including the International Baccalaureate in Curriculum Design. So